The tip that we are going to discuss right now is quite suitable for those who are into black and white photography. Count me in. For example, have the majority of my photos in black and white exactly. Not to exaggerate, but I'd say around 95% probably of my work is in black and white. And I was thinking, since this is the case, why not immediately just shoot in black and white? Let me explain what the advantages are. Two main ones in my view. The first one, you have a more correct exposure when shooting. The second one, the construction of the frame. Let me explain everything in detail step by step, with examples of course. Starting with exposure. Well, practice has shown that this works really well, and as it turned out, not only for me. I learned that many photographers use this option. Of course, everything depends on your monitor calibration settings, which may vary a lot. Mine is calibrated 4K, not a bad one I mean, so the exposure in this frame is correct. By the way, if you noticed, I took a screenshot of the raw file, so you can see the original shot. Based on personal experience, I must say that if I shot in cover, the picture would look something like this. Having in mind that I shoot in RAW format, it's not a problem to pull out the dark and adjust the exposure. But you should always try to shoot in a way that there is less work after that in Photoshop or whichever program you're using. Just imagine the load of work you'd have if you shoot a series and all the frames need to be processed. Why you need to do this? One way or another, any extra manipulation in any program affects the file after all. Another screenshot of the raw file, just as an example. By the way, if someone does not know or is wondering why I speak about shooting in black and white and show cover photos, if you shoot in black and white, then you see the image in black and white only in the display on your camera. When opened in a RAW converter, the images are covered. Okay? So, saying it one more time, if you shoot in RAW, if you shoot in JPEG, then it's a different story. Then the photos remain black and white forever and for always. A small detail, but a really important one. So you'd better really know about this. So, as you can see, everything is very good in terms of exposure, especially when you shoot from the bottom up, as in this case. You probably know that in the frame on auto exposure is always much darker. It will become really clear for you when you try it yourself. Just open the file for processing, convert it to black and white, and you will see that the photo looks like the one you saw when you took it. Moving on, here comes the second reason why you should try to shoot in black and white, because of the construction of the frame. Take a look at this image. It was also taken in black and white. This choice of mine really helped me. I was completely focused on the plot and on building the frame. The left part of the frame is warm in color, and the right part is colder, as you can see. What I mean is that the colors, in this case, affect the overall balance within the frame. Perhaps, if I had shot in color then, I would have captured less warmth. Or vice versa, it could have been too much. Then, this wouldn't have been in the frame. The golden triangle. A rare bird in the world of composition. It matches perfectly fine here. Going further with our composition-based analysis, here is the golden spiral. Not one of the easiest elements as well, as we've mentioned. It's absolutely not about how cool I am, just want to underline that. How I'm pursuing complex compositional elements and whatever. Well, it does simply really work. It's worth shooting in black and white, and I want to share this trick with you. I wish I'd thought of that sooner. I wish someone had told me. It's possible that thanks to my experience, I could have taken the same picture if I had shot in color. No one knows. But shooting in black and white does really help. I see it in my own photography. A curious fact, if you line up objects of all colors of the rainbow and quickly move your head, just run your eyes through, you'll see only yellow. And here's a good example of why it makes sense to shoot in black and white. In cases with these variegated colors, as here, the brain will simply decide that this colored object, the yellow one, will be extra in the frame, will not be necessary. I'm sure that many people would frame this frame differently. Again, shooting in black and white here did help me take this photo as I wanted to. That's what I mean. Talking about the visual perception and the choice of framing. The yellow car seemed to be quite large in yellow, in color. Look at it now. In black and white, you may see a completely different proportion between the objects. If not shooting in black and white, it's really quite easy to make a mistake here. Just try it, experiment. You need practice in order to understand if shooting this way is yours. If it would really help me. For me, it's helpful. That's why I'm sharing with you. But there is one exception. I take almost all of my night photos in color. Why? I don't have a specific explanation. Probably it's because there is little light, and in most cases, the background is lost. And of course, because of this color, the lights. It can't be taken in black and white. Because of the bokeh, look at that. Just how not to use it. I can't imagine shooting this one in black and white. Night photos are beautiful in color, especially when it's a bit foggy. Night color photos bring a very atmospheric and cinematic mood. Take advantage of it. That's the whole secret behind it. Just there are cases when I decide that in this situation it is better to shoot in color. Then I switch the camera to its standard mode. The next step, I build the frame, taking in mind the color.